Alrighty, so this is going to be a bit different than my regular content. However, we are just going to be checking out what we need to know for the month of April in the year of 2026 while I do my makeup. This is just one of those, I wouldn't even say a throwaway video, but just some backup content that I would like to get offloaded. And right now I am using the Inner Compass deck by Teal Swan. And the first cards that are coming out are recognition and forgiveness. So recognition, to be recognized, to be acknowledged for my existence, validity, excellence, contribution, or anything else that a person might be recognized for. To receive acknowledgement, award, appreciation, or acclaim for an achievement, service, or ability of mine. Forgiveness, to be forgiving of others, to be able to let go of and release feelings of anger or resentment or the need for restitution or amends when someone has a flaw, makes a mistake, offends, or harms me or others. So, as I was driving somewhere, it was late at night, so I was definitely alert. I came across a church, which, if you know me, I'm very removed from religion to a degree. And I saw the sign that says, forgive, the rapture is here, or something like that. And then I saw a YouTube video that basically was saying the same thing. And when I first saw the sign, in my head, I just dismissed it. I was like, forgive? Like, what do I need to forgive for? And not in a way that I don't know what I need to forgive for, but more so I'm justified in feeling the way that I'm feeling. And the underlying energy we have here is change. To have a life marked by change, to become different, to experience variety in my life, to alter, diversify, or modify my life experience. For example, to travel or to move to different places, to meet different people, to change my perspective, to alter my behavior, to pick a new profession, etc. The opposite of having a fixed, repetitious life experience. And with that, the direction that is coming out in this deck is somewhat important to me. So again, although I know what forgiveness means to me, it was a moment for me to sit back and reflect and really just understand that I'm not bigger than the program. And although I can move through life with that understanding, there is a level of free will, autonomy, and sovereignty that allows me to just keep my position and know that I'm okay with it. And not to say that I'm walking around here with an unforgiving heart, but I guess the moral of the story with adaptability when I flip or split the deck is to have the ability and the willingness to adapt, to be able to change, acclimatize, modify, alter, or adjust to new conditions or for an important purpose, to be flexible, versatile, accommodating, amendable, or change myself, or able to change myself, my ideas and my behavior easily. And I, in that moment, just thought like, okay, who do I need to forgive? And it did come to me. So with that, I just want to remind you guys that forgiveness gives you a fresh slate every single time. And even in the moments where you think that something can't give, forgiveness is one of those, I guess you could say, master keys that opens a door. Even if you just repeat it to yourself, like, I let go of this, I release this from feeling like a burden from me, you're able to do that. And wow, when I turn the deck over, we have to love others. And I always say, before you can love others, you have to love yourself. And part of loving yourself is being able to forgive yourself, to be in the practice of taking others as a part of myself, and as such caretake their best interest and or make them feel appreciated, wanted, and pulled in by me instead of pushed away by me. And the card after that, we have spirituality, to live a deeply connected with and aware of the non-physical dimension of life, to be connected to the truth and the meaning that exists beyond the physical, material life, and to live a life that is committed to spiritual growth. And we have reciprocity. So if this month, April, you are looking for change, just make sure you are forgiving yourself, forgiving others. And it's coming up a lot that there might be a need for a change of scenery, even if not permanent, just for the moment. It doesn't have to be somewhere far, don't be trying to live above your means, but make time to get out and to explore, to go travel, to see different ways of life, to see how people are different. And on that tangent, I was scrolling through TikTok today and I saw an interaction, basically not excusing foreigners' behaviors, but someone highlighted it to the original poster that everyone doesn't see disrespect or certain actions the same. And so where an American or a US born citizen might see something as disrespect or just blatantly ignorant, some people aren't looking at it that way. And I'd just like to remind you guys to make sure that how you're perceiving a situation is what it is. Sometimes when we're offended, it's not always intentional, and it also doesn't mean that we were looking to be offended. Sometimes things do just strike us the wrong way, and with gratitude, to feel, to be in a state of, and to express appreciation and thankfulness, an affirmation of goodness generated from within, the readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. So just make sure you know your purpose. The ability to let go is, again, going to allow those things that you are looking for to come into your life without the resistance. To not forgive is to harden your heart. And if you don't know by now, a hardened heart does not invite new blessings, nor does it provide rooms for miracles to transpire. So take a minute just now, anytime you remember, and call your energy back. Call your energy back from those who want you to sit in a state of bitterness or want you to harness energy that's not necessarily yours. And with here, we have memories, to remember things and to have experiences which are memorable and that induce nostalgia, to reminisce, to be able to encode, retain, store, retrieve, and revive information, facts, events, and impressions from the past when needed. And with that, don't sit with the memories too much. When you are feeling like you don't want to let it go, or it's coming back up and it's trying to strike those old emotions where you could just roll your eyes or catch a really big attitude because something just ticked you off and you remembered something from 5, 6, even a month ago. And the card underneath that was understanding, to have a mental, emotional, and physical grasp on something. The ability to perceive, view, comprehend, interpret, perceive the intended meaning. Be sympathetically aware, have insight and good judgment, or to know about a subject or situation on a mental, emotional, and physical level. And with fame. So fame is not always in the public eye, but in this card it says to be known and recognized by others, to be renowned, to be a celebrity, to have public eminence. I want to be known and talked about by many people, especially on account of my notable achievements. And a lot of people do not have the ability to forgive, as cliche as it might sound. Forgiveness is not something that comes easily nor openly to a lot of people. Forgiveness sometimes takes years. Some people even die with the bitterness, the hate, the resentment, the hard feelings in their heart. So just make sure you're checking in with yourself this month. And again, when it comes up, let it go. Every time it comes up, let it go. There's no need to be harboring things. And yes, it is a practice. So again, whenever it comes up, remind yourself to let it go. And it might just be a reminder that you're here, that you are able to feel. Don't take that for granted. And also don't get so caught up in what the emotions feel like that you don't remember who you are on a grand scale. You want to think about it like this. If someone is looking back 5 or 10 years from now and they hear about how I'm feeling, what would they think of me? And not because it matters what they would think of you, but it matters of who you are in that moment. What is your character showing? What does that say about you? Are you moving with integrity? Are you letting your thoughts control your actions in the day-to-day? Are you letting your thoughts of someone else or their perceived actions get the best of you? When a lot of the times the people that we care about or the people that we deem important, a lot of the times their motives isn't to hurt us or to demonize us or to cause us pain, but that doesn't absolve us from being humans. These things do happen the same way that we may unintentionally hurt someone that we know we care about, we know that we love. Intent does not override impact, and although that might sound cliche to a lot of people, that's simply what it is. And understanding that should easily allow you to let go of any longing for a different outcome when it comes to the things that we have allowed or the things that have transpired with or without our consent. And there's no need for us to, again, just hold on to those things that are meant to slow us down. It is very important that you remember a lot of these things are not here to keep us captive, but to enlighten us and set us free. The more that we're able to recognize the learning curves, I'll use that, the learning curves that we encounter, is the more freely that we're able to move and the more love that we are able to call into our lives, not only for ourselves but those around us, which is what you would call leading by example. Because everyone isn't able to hone in or tap into certain parts of themselves that allow us to ascend, that allow us to grow spiritually, it doesn't mean that by us doing it, we won't light the path for others to follow. Some people will see how you handle a situation and say, hey, you know what? You're way better than me. I wouldn't have done it like this. And so with that, I want to be like you. and not in a way where they're trying to wear your skin, but where you then become that embodiment of, we're going to use in this instance Christ-like consciousness, leading by example with the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control, things like that. So in the face of personal adversity, interpersonal challenges where we don't have to necessarily vocalize them to others for them to be true or for them to take precedence over our mental landscape, it's really going to be important in the month of April for us to learn to let it go. And letting it go, like I keep and will continue to emphasize, is not a one-time thing. Sometimes it'll come up 10 times. It'll even come up 100 times before our subconscious really gets the memo. And with that, I'm just going to go ahead and close this out with a oracle deck. And this oracle deck, excuse me if the sound is low, I couldn't quite get my microphone to work, so I'm just doing as much as I can. With this last deck, we're going to go ahead and see what is the energy that this collective needs to know for the month of April 2026. We have here victory and success, followed by solar plexus chakra. And last but not least, the last card I'm going to go ahead and choose, it didn't flip over, is spiritual union with the underlying energy of universe. So being careful of what it is that we take in. And it's not just with the solar plexus chakra foods, but the thoughts that we are allowing to penetrate our subconscious. Just because a thought comes up does not mean that we have to take it on. You can simply observe and decide to let go. And in the instance that you decide to let go, again, it's going to be a practice of doing it every single time it comes up. These things that want to hold us back, their whole entire prerogative is to trip us up and to let us linger in a state of, how can I say, divisive energy, where if I have your mind on this thing, then what you're truly focused on does not have time to manifest, and that is never really a place that you want to be ever, if at all. And if you can help it, just in the moment remind yourself that you're an overcomer, that you are more than this, and allow the thought to leave. You do not have to give anything free range in your mind, your spirit, your body to exist. You can send it on its way. The same way that it came in is the same exact way that it can go out, and more than that, with a bang. You do not owe it to anyone outside of yourself to be honest with what you are feeling. And when you are honest about what you are feeling, it allows you to keep that openness with others, and not because you owe it to them, but because that is how you live your life. That is the contingency of you reaping the benefits of who you are, the perks to being someone who is seeking sovereignty, someone who is seeking higher ground. You don't owe it to them, but you offer it as I guess you can say, an offering to yourself. So don't be afraid to sacrifice your comfort for validity that determines your future. Every thought is not meant to stay, and every thought is not a determining factor in who you are, what you're here to do, or the mission that you're being assigned on. So with that, I do just want to say that your support is always appreciated. And if you are ever feeling doubtful about your purpose, just take a few moments to let everything go. Remember why you're here. Remember what you're here to do. Remember who you are. And if you're watching this channel, then who you are is love. The person you are here to be is an embodiment of God. And with that, we have composure, earth and ground, blessings and abundance. So everything that comes to distract is meant to get us off of our path, is meant to get us to be in a state of mind that is regressive, a state of mind that is stagnant, that does not want us to move forward. And the more you're cognizant and aware of that, is the more that you allow yourself to get out of those grasps, to get out of the death grip even that is life. You are not meant to be bound, not by finances, not by self-imprisonment, not by negative thoughts, and definitely not by negative energy. But the only way those things can truly impact us is if we allow it. And it's easier said than done, yes, but again, practice makes perfect. So in the month of April, I challenge you, every time something comes up and it feels like you want to give up or you want to give in, allow yourself the space to let it go. And if you don't know how to let it go, it looks and it sounds as easy as 1, 2, 3. I let go anything that is trying to hold me back emotionally. I let anything and everything go that is trying to hold me back spiritually. If there's anything trying to hinder my spirit in the physical and the unseen, I let it go. with the least amount of resistance. You can word it however you like. You can say it a million different ways. As long as the intent to move on and to get to higher ground is there, allow yourself to receive those downloads of what is necessary to move forward. And more than that, just understand that it's a face not only that we put on, but it's the face of our soul. If you are able to get in touch with that and stay true to it, then your beauty will be everlasting. Your beauty will be encompassing here with spiritual union to end the read. And that's a beautiful thing. You just want to refine the parts of self that show up front forwards. And with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.